The Shedeur thing is different. Like, I have a lot of conversations leading up to the draft. I talk to every team. I get a lot of intel. I feel like I prepare myself for every freaking thing that could possibly happen. Like, that is what I do for the month before the draft. I spend the entire time on the phone. And it never crossed my mind that Shedeur Sanders could be a fifth-round pick. It was not in the realm of possibility. So, like, to me, all-time draft stories, like, this is one of them.
Yeah,
me.
I think so. Fifth round is a crazy drop.
Crazy.
There were moments that hit sports media like a siren and forced the NFL to look in the mirror. This week was one of those moments. Pat McAfee lit a firestorm on air. Not with rumors, not with injury reports, with a take on Shedeur Sanders and a silent interview that said everything without a word.
And we can only control what we can control, but yeah, I don't want to speak for anyone in particular. And,
It was not about completions or passer rating. It was about image and identity. A rookie quarterback, a famous last name, a clip that went everywhere. Shedeur stood still. He stared down the cameras. He gave answers with gestures and with silence. The internet laughed. Fans took sides. The media jumped in. To McAfee, it was more than a meme. It was a warning flare for a young quarterback trying to build a career. Before we go further, like the video and subscribe. If you love Shedeur, then comment SS 100%. McAfee and the crew knew what they were walking into. The Shedeur clip was already the talk of the week. Every show had played it. Shedeur showed up in a sharp fit and refused to speak. He mimed his way through the questions. It was a clap back at Rex Lyon. Rex had said he did not need to hear from a third-string quarterback. McAfee did not duck the moment. He said it straight. If Shedeur is a content creator, that was great. If he is an NFL quarterback, that was bad. Then he drew a hard line between entertainment and leadership. A quarterback is not just a player. A quarterback is the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar operation. That was his word, CEO. You do not follow the same rules as everyone else. You do not chase likes. Your voice carries weight in a building. Your words reach a locker room and a city. You are the face of a brand every Sunday. McAfee even laughed at himself to make the point. He said he could act like a dumbass when he was a punter. He could joke and poke and no one cared. Shedeur is not in that lane. He is the face on the poster. He is the son of Deion Sanders. That raises the volume on every move. Every gesture matters. Every silence becomes a headline. Every post turns into a debate on your character and your future. So the crew asked the real question: why is Shedeur under a different microscope? The answer was simple: fame and family. Most fifth-round, third-string quarterbacks do not live in the spotlight. They do not have cameras chasing them in camp. They do not get their clips cut and shared all day. Shedeur is not in that group. He is a Sanders. That legacy brings a standard. Deion was more than a corner and a returner. He was a brand. He was a motivator. He was a showman. He commanded attention and then he backed it up between the lines. That was the pivot in McAfee's point. The attention is fine, the show is fine, but the football has to walk in the room first. Reputation follows production in the league. Rex Ryan's shot was tough, but not unique. He said he does not need to hear from a third-string quarterback. A lot of executives nod at that idea. The NFL is chaos already. The grind beats up every roster. Winning on Sunday is brutal. No one wants extra noise from the most important position on the team. It is why so many front offices avoid quarterbacks who bring drama from social feeds. McAfee even pulled a parallel from the past. Tim Tebow. Tebow mania took over the league at one point. It was not that Tebow was a bad teammate. The attention became a circus around him. Every practice felt like a show day. Coaches hate that. It is hard enough to win in the NFL. You do not want a backup quarterback turning every week into a storyline. That is the fear with Shedeur. His silent bit was not cruel. It was not hostile. It was clever. It fed a growing story that he wants the spotlight more than the sideline. McAfee called it a content creator move. He said it was funny. He said it landed. He even joked that he wished he had thought of that when people told him to shut up. But he still called it the wrong play for a quarterback.
Breaking. The Browns are benching veteran Joe Flacco in favor of rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel. Per Adam Schefter, Gabriel's first NFL start comes Sunday in London versus the Vikings. London Bridge falling down? No, but Joe Flacco's time as Browns QB1 has fallen down. The time is now.
The twist is that the silence might be his most powerful statement so far. It was bold. It was sarcastic. It was full of confidence. Yet it pushed a question into the room: is this confidence or arrogance? The league draws a thin line between the two. Cross it, and you can lose trust fast. Stay on the right side, and you look like a leader who never blinks.
The Shedeur thing is like yes, there were some players who fell. There were some players who, D-Butt mentioned Will Johnson. I mean, that's a pretty good example of a guy who is super talented and just based on the way he plays should absolutely have been like a middle first-round pick. The knee injury, which has the potential to significantly sort of limit his career, that played a part. Now, it doesn't have to. Miles Jack had a similar thing, and he played 7 years, which is a great career. Everyone would be happy with a 7-year career. But teams didn't feel like they could take the risk until...
McAfee even pulled a key idea that hit hard. Shedeur only needs one team to believe. He does not need 32. He needs one general manager who sees the fire and says, I like that kid's moxie. One voice and power can change a career in a day. One believer can flip the story from risky to right fit. Until that day arrives, every move will be judged. Every camera will chase him. Critics will say immature. Supporters will say authentic. The views will stack up. The NFL doesn't care about views. The NFL cares about wins and about trust inside the room. Then the crew turned the lens to Cleveland and Dillon Gabriel. Gabriel is now the starter. He has said nothing about Shedeur. He has kept his head down. He has done the work. He has earned his chance the old way. McAfee praised that approach. He called it focus under pressure. He said Gabriel has done nothing wrong. He has not fired back. He has not added fuel. Coaches love that. Side by side, the contrast was clear. Gabriel comes across as steady, calm, disciplined. Shedeur is fiery, flashy, unapologetic. Both can sling it, both can compete. Their styles live on separate roads. One co-host looked at the quarterback room dynamic. That room is supposed to be tight. Starters, backups, and third-string guys share notes every day. They watch the same tape. They grind in the same meetings. It's a support circle inside a tough league. Veterans hate anything that can split that unity.
What are your thoughts on just remaining at that third quarterback? Vocally, anything to say about it?
So he asked a blunt question. Will a Browns veteran pull Shedeur aside? Will someone say, bro, you have to chill. Every move you make becomes a distraction. It was a fair question. But there have been no reports of teammates calling him out. Nothing from inside the building, no leaks, no whispers from the room. That's what makes this whole thing strange. Outside, the volume is high. Debate shows are loud. Clips are everywhere. Inside Cleveland, the building is quiet. The work goes on. McAfee's team then rolled Dillon Gabriel's postgame comments. Gabriel gave a thoughtful answer on finally getting his shot. He used a fire station picture. The garage doors are open. Everyone is ready. The team is waiting for the call. It was a simple way to say, stay prepared. The crew loved it. They called it wise and mature. It sounded like a quarterback answer. Fans caught a line that sounded familiar. Gabriel said, if you wait for the perfect time, it will never come. That line echoes Shedeur's song Perfect Timing. Social media jumped on it. Was Gabriel taking a shot? Was it a sly dig? Was it petty? McAfee shut that down fast. That was not a shot. That was a good answer. The internet loves drama. It chases beef where there is none. Gabriel was not trying to disrespect anyone. He was doing what a quarterback should do. Stay composed, stay focused, point to the work. That contrast became the heart of the show. Gabriel gave the perfect football answer. Shedeur gave the perfect content creator moment. One moved his career forward, the other moved the timeline and lit up a trend page. Around the 10-minute mark, McAfee was laughing, but his tone had weight. He called the silent interview genius trolling. He called it expert level. Then he drew the hard truth again. If you're trying to be a quarterback, that is not what teams want. In the NFL, the word distraction is poison. Coaches hate it. They fear it. They want clean air around the quarterback room. They want the focus on install and on execution. If they think you will divide a locker room or pull cameras into the building, they hesitate. Some analysts now believe the viral moments might be costing Shedeur real chances. Then came another voice. Former Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy echoed the same principle on a different show. You don't want distractions from your third-string quarterback. You need to know if it's causing tension inside the locker room. If the room is fine, then it's not a big deal. If it starts to split players, then you have a real problem. McAfee agreed with that bar. The only thing that matters is what's happening in that locker room. If the players are cool, it's fine. If the whispers start, then it's serious. That is the line that matters to coaches and captains. By then, the studio had shifted from laughs to a real warning. No one was rooting against Shedeur. They were trying to tell him how the league works. The NFL is a business built on perception. Everything goes on your resume. Every post, every press answer, every stunt. Shedeur is building his resume live on the feed. AJ Hawk added a smart layer. Shedeur grew up with cameras in the house. Fame is normal for him. Mics and bright lights are not scary. What looks dramatic to outsiders is a Tuesday for a Sanders. That's why he can pull a silent interview without flinching. But that comfort can blur the line between entertainment and professionalism. McAfee wrapped that segment with a simple rule. It's not a huge deal unless it's a deal in the locker room. That one line carries the whole conversation. The silence, the memes, the headlines, none of it matters if his teammates still trust him. All of it matters if that trust starts to slip. The internet couldn't look away. Clips of the show hit millions of views. Fans split down the middle. Some called Shedeur a genius for clowning the media. Others called him arrogant and immature. The debate moved past the clip. Now it's about the path. What kind of player does Shedeur want to be? Is he the quarterback who leads from the pocket, or the influencer who runs the conversation? Can he hold both titles? Can he time it right? For McAfee, the answer is about timing. You can be both once you have wins. Once you have skins on the wall, you can joke, you can troll, you can play the showman. When you're fighting for a roster spot, every word matters. Every snap matters. Every moment is a data point for the people who make decisions. Here's the thing. Shedeur knows all of this. He grew up in a culture of confidence and competition. Deion taught his sons to be the show, to control the stage. That works in college. The NFL is a different arena. You cannot dominate the media unless you dominate on the field first. That is why this moment matters. It is small on the surface. It can define the opening chapter of his pro story. McAfee's critique was not about ego, it was about the system Shedeur is in. The league does not change for personalities. The league demands adaptation. The greats learn to use the media with strategy, not with emotion. No one on that panel denied Shedeur's talent. They all see the arm, the drive, the magnetism. The issue is simple. The NFL does not reward flash without consistency. Instagram views do not win respect in a building. Touchdowns do. Leadership does. Tough third downs do. By the end, the message was clear. They are not rooting against Shedeur, they are challenging him. Shift from viral moments to victory moments. Use the same charisma to lift a huddle. If you can do that, the same media that mocks him will crown him later. They will call him one of the most confident, fearless quarterbacks in the league. McAfee's final words hit that balance. We probably all need to laugh a little more. It is funny. It is clever. At the end of the day, it is about what happens in that locker room. That is the line that holds up under the lights. The silence was hilarious to fans. It was fuel for highlight shows. To the NFL, it was a test, a check on maturity, a check on leadership, a check on focus. In a league where every decision counts, the next move matters more than the last meme. The cameras will still be there. The spotlight will not fade. From Pat McAfee to the Cleveland Browns and beyond, everyone is watching to see if Shedeur can turn viral confidence into real football credibility. Because the silence was funny, the swagger was bold. Now it is time to speak with his game.